Jake wasn't a Wall Street expert or a financial guru. He's an average person like many of us, who one day chose to embark on a new path. Jake's journey starts from scratch, but he's driven by dreams, and through 10 exciting years, we'll see him evolve, learn, make mistakes, and rise again. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just thinking about getting started, Jake's story will resonate with you. His story is filled with insights, life lessons, and the incredible transformation that only a real dive into the world of investing can offer. So, hit that subscribe button, grab your pen and paper, as this story is filled with tips and lessons that can benefit anyone, no matter where they are in their investing journey. Prepare to be inspired by Jake as we set off on this decade-long adventure together. Year 1. Jake's first steps in finance. Can you remember the very first time you tried something new? That's exactly where Jake found himself at the beginning of his investing journey. When he received exactly $1,000 during his graduation, Jake was like a child stepping into a toy store for the first time. Only this time, the toys were stocks, bonds, and various other investment opportunities. In his first year, Jake was practically guessing his way through, playing around with different stocks, not entirely sure what he was doing. He was attracted to the flashy tech companies, drawn by their trends, and enticed by high returns. At the same time, he dipped in some conservative bonds, the safety nets of his little financial playground. He spent hours watching videos on YouTube about investing guide made for beginners. Then he watched financial news, trying to understand the trends and the movements of those exciting tickers on the screen. He'd often find himself waking up in the middle of the night to check how the Asian markets were doing too. In his eyes, this was more than numbers, it was an exciting game. The result? A growth of $30,700. It might not sound like much, but the joy and the lessons he gained were priceless. More than the monetary gain, he found a newfound passion that would last a lifetime. That year taught Jake several essential lessons. He learned about volatility, the importance of research, and most crucially, that investing wasn't just about making quick money. Year 2. Learning about risk and finding a guide. So, after a year of dabbling, what do you think happened to Jake? That excitement and initial success had him hooked. But he knew he needed more. Jake realized he needed guidance. This realization led him to the classic pages of The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Imagine finding a guide that speaks directly to you, in terms you understand, and opens your eyes to a world you never knew existed. That's what happened to Jake. Through Graham's wisdom, Jake began to understand the importance of risk and reward. It wasn't just about throwing money at stock and hoping for the best. It was about understanding what he was investing in, knowing the possible outcomes, and being comfortable with them. He learned to recognize his risk tolerance, finding a balance between the allure of potentially high returns and the comfort of safety. Jake became more deliberate in his choices, weighing options, and seeking long-term value instead of quick gains. By the end of year 2, his wise decisions had turned his portfolio into $200,000. But the growth in numbers was merely a reflection of the growth in Jake's understanding and maturity as an investor. Year 3. Learning how to choose stocks and smart investing. All right, let's talk about year 3 in Jake's journey, because this is where things get interesting. You see, Jake was starting to feel more confident now. But with that newfound confidence came a craving for deeper knowledge. He wanted to not only play the game, but master it. So, who do you turn to when you want to master investing? None other than the Oracle of Omaha himself, Warren Buffett. Jake began devouring Buffett's principles and quickly realized that there's an art to choosing stocks. Imagine going from impulsively picking out eye-catching stocks to methodically analyzing each one, understanding its true value, studying the market trends, and patiently waiting for the right moment. That's what Jake started to do. Research became Jake's new mantra. He would spend hours dissecting companies, reading reports, and understanding their growth potential. Valuation was no longer just a word, it was a principle that guided his decisions. And patience? Oh, that became his secret weapon. By the end of the year, Jake's $200,000 turned into $800,500. The number alone doesn't tell a whole story. This was a year of profound growth in Jake's approach to investing. He was no longer a gambler. He was becoming a strategist, playing a long game. Year 4. Discovering passive investing. So, after 3 years of active engagement, guess what happened to Jake in year 4? he stumbled upon the concept of passive investing. Now this might sound like a step back, but hang on, it's far from it. You see, Jake had been actively choosing stocks, doing all the research, and making those day-to-day decisions. But then he came across ETFs and index funds, and it's like a whole new world opened up. Jake began to see the benefits of diversification, not just in words but in practice. He learned that he could spread his money across various sectors, aligning his investments with the general market trends, yet enjoying the freedom of not having to micromanage every move. And what happened to his portfolio? It grew steadily to $1,800,000. No dramatic jumps, no heart-stopping falls, just steady, consistent growth. Year 5. Riding the ups and downs and growing stronger. Oh boy, year 5. Hold on tight, because this was a year of turbulence for Jake. Just when things were sailing smoothly, you get a bad decision and 8 a.m. He was hit by a market fluctuation. His portfolio plummeted, losing nearly half, falling back to $600,000. Talk about a twist. Now, imagine the shock, the disbelief, and then the sinking feeling in the stomach. It was a moment that could break anyone. But here's the thing about Jake, it didn't break him. Instead, it became a painful but vital lesson in humility. You see, Jake had been riding high, maybe even getting a little overconfident. This loss reminded him that the market is a wild beast, untamed and unpredictable. He learned that he needed to respect it, to approach it with caution, and to never underestimate its ability to turn. Most importantly, this year taught Jake the critical importance of a diversified portfolio. He realized that putting all his eggs in one basket was a risky game. Year 6. Discovering compounding's power. Now, after the roller coaster of Year 5, Year 6 was about healing and growth, but with a magical twist. Jake stumbled upon the concept of compounding, and let me tell you, it's something that can change your investment game entirely. Have you ever watched something grow not just in a straight line but exponentially? That's compounding. It's like planting a seed, nurturing it, and then watching it turn into a forest. It's not just about what you earn on your investment. It's about what you earn on what you've already earned. Albert Einstein once called compounding the eighth wonder of the world, and Jake felt its power. By embracing this principle, focusing on long-term growth, reinvesting the gains, and allowing the interest to build upon itself, Jake's portfolio grew back to $2 million. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about understanding a fundamental principle that applies not just in finance but in life. Year 6 was a beautiful comeback for Jake, a lesson in the elegance of slow, steady growth, and a realization that sometimes the most potent forces work silently. If you want to learn more about compounding and how it can work for you, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more insights. Like Jake, you might just discover a touch of magic in your investing journey too. Year 7. The Ethical Investor's Journey. Up until now, it was all about strategies, principles, and of course, making money. But in Year 7, something clicked for Jake. He realized that investing wasn't just about numbers, it was also about values. This was the year of ethical investing. Ethical investing isn't just a trend. It's a profound way to connect your money with your morals. Jake began to research companies that stood for something more than just profit. He invested in firms that were doing right by the planet, treating their workers well, and contributing positively to society. And the result? His portfolio grew to $4 million. But more importantly, his connection to his investments deepened. It was no longer just about watching numbers grow, it was about being part of something bigger. Year 7 was a transformative year for Jake, a year that turned investing from a task into a passion, from a game into a mission. And maybe, just maybe, it's a lesson for all of us that our money can be more than a tool. It can be a voice, a vote, a way to shape the world we want to live in. How amazing is that? Year 8. Checking and adjusting your investments. You might think, hey, I've got everything set up. I've made my choices. Now I can sit back and relax, right? But Jake learned this year that investing is like steering a ship. You must always be adjusting your course. He found that some investments had outperformed while others lagged. He realized that the right balance he'd found last year might no longer be ideal this year. He learned that staying in tune with his investments and making necessary tweaks could significantly impact his growth. By the end of Year 8, Jake's investments had grown to $6,500,000. Year 9, Jake learns about mindful investing. Year 9 was a real eye-opener for Jake, but not in the way you might expect. It wasn't about a new strategy or a hot tip. It was about mindfulness. Yes, mindfulness in investing. Sounds a bit unusual, right? But stick with me here, it's fascinating. Now, we all know that investing can be emotional. The market goes up, and you feel great. It goes down, and suddenly it's panic time. But Jake realized that those emotions were driving his decisions, sometimes leading him astray. He knew he needed a change, and that's when he stumbled upon the concept of mindful investing. The result? A thoughtful, composed approach to investing led his portfolio to a healthy $10 million. But beyond the numbers, this year was a profound lesson in self-awareness and control. It taught Jake that the market might be wild, but he didn't have to be. Year 10, a step closer to being money smart. Here we are, in the final stage of Jake's decade-long journey. Year 10. What a year it was, what a journey it's been. This year wasn't about a single lesson, it was about culmination, about bringing everything together, about understanding that being money smart is a journey, not a destination. Remember that young, eager guy with $1,000 in his pocket, ready to conquer the financial world. Look at him now, the portfolio that's blossomed into $10 million. But the money, impressive as it is, doesn't tell the full story. Think about what Jake learned. He learned about risk and reward, the power of compounding, the importance of ethics, the need for vigilance, and the wisdom of mindfulness. He tasted success, faced setbacks, navigating twists and turns, and came out stronger, wiser, and more connected to his financial journey. But here's the real magic of year 10. It wasn't an end. It was a beginning. Jake realized that every lesson learned was a step closer to being money smart. But the learning never stops. The market will continue to change, new strategies will emerge, and Jake will continue to grow. And that's the true beauty of investing. It's a never-ending journey. So, what's next for Jake? More learning, more growing, more investing. And what about you? Where are you on your financial journey? Are you ready to take the next step? To learn from Jake's experience, to grow your understanding, to take control of your financial future? If you're inspired by Jake's story and want to embark on your investment journey or take it to the next level, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share this video with friends who might need that push. See you in the next video.